Welcome back, Seth Bling here, and today I'm joined by Etho. Hello.
Hello.
So Etho and I were talking the other night about how boring combat can be in Minecraft sometimes. I'm talking about close combat with swords, and how often you just end up kind of running at the other person, swinging your sword, and there's not really that much to it. So we kind of got together, and I wrote a Bukkit plugin based on our conversation that makes combat a little bit more exciting. And the way it does that is by making blocking a bit more effective and a bit more complicated. So if I go ahead and right click to start blocking, and Etho hits me immediately after I start blocking, let's try it. Ready, set, go. You can hear there's a high pitched sound, and I only take half a heart of damage. Compare that to a normal hit without a block, and I take 2.5 hearts of damage. So obviously I take a lot less damage. Now if I block for a while before Etho hits me, you can see I take a heart and a half of damage. So it kind of depends how long you've been blocking for when the player hits you, how effective the block is, and not only does it affect his immediate attack, but it also affects his next couple of attacks. So why don't you go ahead and hit me right after I block, and then hit me again immediately. Ready, set, go.
Sure.
So you can see 2 attacks there. I only took a heart of damage. Let's try it again. Okay. Anyway, but it basically lowers his attack capability for the next second or so. So I'm going to go ahead and heal myself here, and let's do a little fight, and then I'll explain the mechanics behind what's going on with the plugin. It's actually pretty simple mechanics, but it's just not visualized anywhere. Although you can hear it with the pitch of the clang, telling you how good the block was. All right, you want to do a little quick sword fight, Etho?
Sure.
Okay. Ready, set, go. Okay, so I had a really good block there.
Really good block.
Yeah, and you can see I don't think I even took any damage. He had a good block there, though. Oop.
Oop.
Yeah, but
Darn it.
heart and a half. So the blocking was really effective, and let me explain why. Okay, so you have 2 meters. Each player has 2 meters. There's an attack meter and a block meter. Both of those meters range between 0% and 100%. If you're just walking around and whatever, those meters are 100%. If I go ahead and take a swing at Etho, both of our meters will stay at 100%. Blocking is what affects the meters. So when I start blocking, my block meter drains from 100% down to 0% over the course of about a second and a half. So when I start blocking, the block meter, my block meter, is near 100%, and that's why it cancels out most of the damage from Etho's attack. So let's demonstrate it again. And so the pitch of the clang when I block is what kind of tells you how full my block meter is. So when I block and it's really high pitched, like this, go. Then my block meter is really high. If I block for a while, my block meter is fully drained, and when he hits me, clang is really low pitched, and so my block meter was really low. Now,
it's a lot less effective.
Right, it's a lot less effective when my block meter is really low. So what it does when I block, if my block meter is really high, like say my block meter is at 80% when I block, what that does is it subtracts my block meter from Etho's attack meter. So if Etho's attack meter was at full, which it should be, it'll drop down to 20%, which means he's going to do 20% as much damage and 20% as much knockback. So a lot less effective. And not only that, but his next attack or two over the course of the next second or so are also going to be affected and are going to be basically less effective than normal. Also, when I block and he attacks, let's say my block meter was at 80%, it'll subtract half of my block meter from his block meter. So if my block meter is at 80%, it'll subtract 40% from his block meter, and he'll be down to 60%. So if he attacks into a really good block of mine, not only are his attacks going to be less effective, but also his blocks. So I don't know. There's no good way to really demonstrate that because it takes a lot of very precise timing. But why don't we just go ahead and put on some diamond armor and let's fight as men fight.
Sure. Takes practice.
And we'll see some of those effects at play. It definitely does take a lot of practice, but it makes the combat a lot more tactical, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And just a lot more interesting. So let's go ahead and 3, 2, 1, fight.
All right.
Okay.
Psych.
Oh,
no, he did
still got a hit. Oh, nice block. Yeah. All right. But I still got you down.
Oh. Didn't expect you to hit me.
I've had some good blocks in here. Oh my god, look at that knockback.
Oh, I'm getting wrecked.
You gotta block more.
I'm trying.
Oh, we both blocked. We just kind of. Sometimes you just end up running at the other person, and you're both blocking. Okay, that was a good block. So I'm gonna back off for a second and wait for my attack meter to recharge, and then get in there and just go for the win. So there you go. I'm down to 3.5 hearts. You can see the combat is a lot more interesting than just run at the other person and block the whole time, especially because the knockback is affected, so you can't always push the other player around as much as you want. If you just charge the other player and they're not blocking, like you can, chain them backwards and stuff. But if they start blocking, I can't really do that as effectively. Go ahead and start blocking, Etho. No. So you can see it's okay. Once I got through all the block, but yeah. So there's just a lot more to combat, in my opinion, with the plugin. So my hope is that people will download it and try it out and find it interesting or suggest improvements, and maybe we can get Mojang to start thinking about different ways that they can improve the way that combat works currently. So let's see, what did I miss? Oh yeah, so I will note that this mechanic only works for player versus player combat. So if you're fighting a mob or whatever, it's not going to do anything. It doesn't affect bows.
TNT.
Yeah, it's only for player versus player combat. So there's that. Otherwise, I think I pretty much explained everything. Do you think I missed anything?
I think you got it all.
Okay. I'll also note, I'm not sure if I said this, but my plugin does change the nature of knockback a little bit. Notice that time I didn't really knock him back at all. That time was pretty low. So it varies a lot more, the knockback does. And so that's just something to keep in mind if you're playing around with the plugin. I'll get you back to 20 health, and maybe we can fight again to close out the video. Did I miss anything else?
Knockback is generally less than normal, though, right? Like compared to...
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. And I'll also note that unbreaking and knockback enchantments are also respected by the plugin. So it should be pretty viable to just drop the plugin in on any server that's using or that has PvP combat. And it won't affect anything else. It doesn't affect your levels or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. You ready to fight again to close out the video?
Let's do it.
Get vengeance.
I need to get a kill in.
All right. Here we go. Block. Oh! You thought I was going to attack first, didn't you?
You always do the attack first, and now you do that. It's like playing rock, paper, scissors with you.
You got to psych out the other person sometimes. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh, man.
Whoa.
Oh, your helmet just broke.
No. Ah.
Okay. I thought you were going to turn around and start just attacking me. There we go. I had a little bit of advantage because of the damaged helmet, I think.
Does the angles, did you explain the angles? Like if you attack someone in the back?
Oh, I actually took that out. I was experimenting with like not being able to block. Like, so if Etho blocks and I'm behind him, that the block wouldn't do anything. But I took that out because it's a little bit weird when you're able to like run through a person and like attack them from within their head and that sort of stuff.
Right.
Sometimes it's a little hard to tell what's going on. So it's something I played around with, but I'm not sure it's going to work out. But yeah. Okay. Well, Etho, thanks for all the input for the plugin. I think it turned out pretty good. And
it's really cool, everybody.
There you go. There you have it from Etho himself. And thanks for helping me record the video.
Yep.
All right. That's about it. Thanks for watching.